I never thought I'd be able to make $100,000 trading. I was doing it for fun. I was doing it to make a couple bucks. Next thing you know, I'm 2.5 years deep, struggling to become a profitable trader, and it just hit. Everything clicked together, all with this simple strategy. The strategy includes an indicator called VWAP, a super simple indicator, but the way I've used it has been the opposite of everybody else, and that's why I think I've had success. I'm PB, 17-year-old trader, and I've been able to navigate the markets by making the difficult simple, and that's my edge against the market. So if you're ready to learn my simple strategy with this simple indicator VWAP, then stay tuned and let's go. VWAP helps me to find the trend. It helps me to find if a stock is going to continue to going up. It helps me to find out where the sellers are, where the buyers at, where I'm going to bounce off of, where I'm going to reject off of, what are the levels that I'm going to end up going down at, where are the levels I'm going to end up going up at, when do I enter, when do I sell, all of it just through VWAP with this simple strategy. VWAP literally changed my life. First things first is every single morning, I mark my pre-market lows and I mark my pre-market highs in the stock. So right here, we have the pre-market highs. Right here, we have the pre-market lows. And as you can see, it's just this gray area from 4 a.m. all the way to market open. And then I wait for either a 5-minute close above the pre-market high or a 5-minute close below the pre-market low. So here, as we can see, we closed this 5-minute candle above the pre-market high. And many of you may be asking, what exactly is a 5-minute close over pre-market high? So say this black line is the pre-market high. A 5-minute close is just indicating that the candle closed over it. So as we can see here, we click on it. It says close in the top of the screen. 583.36. See, 583.36. Pre-market high is 578. That means we closed above it. That's telling me this trend is up. That's telling me the stock is going to go up. So now that we have this 5-minute close over, I look for two things. I look to see where VWAP is, and I look to see if it's above pre-market high or below pre-market high. So look, we're not using the VWAP retest every single time. So if VWAP is above the pre-market high, then we're trading the VWAP retest. So here we have this yellow line, VWAP. It's above the pre-market high. Above the pre-market high. So what are we going to do? We're going to trade the VWAP retest. And you may ask, PB, what's a retest? A retest is where we come back down and test VWAP. We come back down and bounce off VWAP. So as you can see, we have our dip. This is where we're going to enter right off of VWAP since it's above pre-market high. And our stop loss is going to be a 5-minute close under. So we're entering it once it taps it. If it closes this 5-minute candle under it, we're going to get out. We're going to get out. And our target's always going to be high a day for our first trim. Our first trim's always going to be high a day. Our second trim is going to be at any other key levels we have. My next key level was 590, so it would have been all the way over here, as long as you don't get stopped out. But again, so we get a 5-minute close over pre-market high. We come back down, we test VWAP. Once we come back down and retrace price action to VWAP, I'm taking calls here. On Meta, I probably would have taken same week calls, maybe 600 contracts due to the expensive price on them. Meta contracts have to go farther out the money because of the price of the contracts. They're more expensive. So look at this nice move you would have caught. You would have taken most off here, let your runners run. Maybe you would have gotten out here or here or here. I don't know. All depends on your plan. Personally, for me, I would have had a target and I would have stuck to it. But as you can see, all you do is enter on the retest and you hold it. But there's another thing we need to go over. One more thing we need to go over. What happens if VWAP is under pre-market high? So right here, we're going to mark our pre-market high. And we're going to mark our pre-market low. As we can see, we have resistance off pre-market high. I'm not just making these levels up. As you guys know, resistance becomes support. So if you go from rejecting a level to then getting over it, these sellers here are turning into buyers. They're turning into buyers. And then that's how you catch big trends. That's literally the whole strategy. Like this picture right here explains trading in simple terms. So as we can see, wick, rejection. You may say, PP, how do you know it's going to keep going up? You wait for the 5-minute close. Here, the close, let's see, 594.90. What's the pre-market high? 596.10. You see these wicks, that means it didn't close over. Here, it closed over. The green candle is above the line. But now, what are we looking for? We're looking for a retest. But what kind of retest are we looking for, team? We're looking for a pre-market high retest because why? Think about it. Because VWAP's under pre-market high. It's under it. So we'll take calls here. But right here, something magical happens. Pre-market high and VWAP line up. And we get a retest of it. Whenever you have two confluences, pre-market high retest and a VWAP retest, that is A+. That is A+. So you could have taken it here, very good trade, but this is an A+ trade. And look what happens. Right up. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. This is a money setup. You take calls here, trim some a high day, you let your runners run. No red candles, no reason to sell. Best strategy in the world. Let's recap it, team. Let's recap it. First things first. Let's write it down too. First things first. First, we mark our pre-market highs and lows. Just so you know, this works for the downside as well. Next, we wait for a 5-minute close above or below the pre-market level. Then we wait for a retest, and we know what's retest a trade. If it's a VWAP's above pre-market high or below pre-market low, we're trading the VWAP. If it's not, if it's in between, we're not trading the VWAP. Then we trim a high a day. We move our stop loss up. And we let the runners run and keep taking trims. Again, let's go over it again. Let's go over it on Apple. Okay? Let's go over two potential ones. Apple, pre-market high, we mark it. What happens? 5-minute close over it. Now what are we waiting for? A VWAP retest. What do we get? A VWAP retest. We take calls in the VWAP retest, take most of our contracts off a high a day, let our runners run. Hits our 240 level, right here, I'd be all out of my contracts. As simple as that. Let's go to the next day. Let's mark our pre-market highs. What happens? 5-minute close over pre-market high. We get two potential entries right here. We can enter off the retest, or we can even enter right here. What happens? We rip all day. I actually took this trade. It's an A+ trade. I have this is the most simple setup, guys. You literally wait for it to get above the level, and you take the dip when it gets back down the level, because support becomes resistance and resistance becomes support. If you get above a level that they kept rejecting it off of, what's going to happen? Buyers are going to step in and buy it up. The whole point of VWAP is we're thinking about it from a psychological aspect. If somebody's in a trade, and VWAP is like their average, the average person's average. If somebody's in a trade and it gets to their average after being up a lot, they usually sell. I mean, they usually buy. They usually buy more. They can go back up. And if somebody's down on a trade and they get to even, they usually sell. That's why VWAP works. We're shorting the pops if we're under pre-market low when they're selling, and we're just catching that move. We're catching the FOMO. We're banking off other people's basically like emotional trading. We're just trading the system. And if I don't get these retests, I don't take the trade. I have to get the retest or I will not take the trade. But guys, with all this, there's something important we need to talk about. The importance of risk management with this strategy. Risk management is going to be your full edge. So think about it. We're buying it so close to our stop loss. Like if we get under the pre-market high with a 5-minute close, we get out. Like it's so easy right here. 3 risk to reward. Metal is probably an insane risk to reward. So your risk to reward really has to be worth it. It really has to be worth it. And that's why I think this is the best setup, because I either take a big win, a small win, or a small loss. Like look how small the drawdown is. Say it even goes down a little more. Say it goes down to there. Like 1 to 3. And if you catch the full move up, not even the full, like half of it, it's 1 to 7. It's small losses and big wins, and that's how you win in the market. It's not about how much you can win. It's about when you're wrong compared to when you're right. It's about how much do you win when you're right compared to how much do you lose when you're wrong. That's why risk management is so important, and you have to be strict with those stop losses. Strict with them. You get that 5-minute close under, we get under the previous candle, you get out of your position. Get out. You need to follow your plan. You need to follow your plan. You need to be disciplined within yourself. And discipline doesn't start within trading. It starts within your life. It starts within your health. It starts within your diet. It starts within going to the gym. And that's all going to translate to your trading. So if you're having a hard time with discipline, think about those other values, those other points of your life where you could be more disciplined and implement it. And remember, guys, trading is very psychological. We have emotions as humans. We do. It's all about how can you kind of manage those emotions and become a robot. Like for me, if I don't get my exact entry, I'm not taking it. I'm basically a robot sitting at my desk waiting for things to happen to press buy or sell, waiting for the same system to happen. I've been waiting for this strategy every day the last 3 years, trading it, and I've been profitable for that long. I just wait for my strategy to come, and when it hits, I trade it. Just stay calm, especially in new weeks, new years coming up. Every single day, you just start with the mindset that you've never traded before, and your P&L is zero. Your P&L is zero. You have a clean slate. So if you've lost a lot, forget about that. Stop trying to make it back. Just start from zero, and I promise you, your trading journey will go from 0 to 100 a lot faster. And guys, if you want to start using the VWAP strategy, some tips you need to know are, first off, don't take trades in between pre-market high and pre-market low. If you're in between those levels, you don't take it. You need to wait for the break of structure. Second off, you never buy calls if a stock is under VWAP. You never buy puts if a stock is over VWAP. If a stock is over VWAP, the trend is up, most likely, as long as we're over pre-market high. And if the trend is under VWAP, the trend is down. If the stock is under VWAP, the trend is down. We never want to be in the wrong side of things. That's how you blow your account. You rather ride the bus, not jump in front of it and hope it stops. And with this strategy, one thing I'll tell you is it takes a lot of patience. Like Ellie tells me every single day, the guy who traded with every single day, he tells me, PB, you have so much patience. Like you'll miss 3 trades and then your trade will happen and you'll take it and you'll win like 400% after just missing 3 trades. Most people would revenge trade. How do you wait so much? And it's simple. I know in the long run, waiting and being patient works because I've seen it. I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars doing this stuff. Like I'm a real example that if you stick to it, you're gonna miss trades. You're gonna have to be disciplined. There's gonna be days where you're gonna be really mad at yourself because you just watched a trade where you would have made $10,000. Said you didn't take it because it didn't hit your exact level. But that's okay because your entry and being patient, that's what's gonna shape you from an unprofitable trader to a profitable trader because it helps your risk to reward. It helps you keep your losses smaller. If you have a cheaper average and your average is more high quality due to the fact that you waited for the exact retest, dude, you're taking smaller losses. You're taking smaller losses. So say this is your stop loss and you buy it right here because there's a high chance it's going to bounce right here and your target's right here. You're risking this much to win this much. And last month I had a 76% win rate trading that. 76%, all verified on my Discord. You can do it too. But just because you guys see me make all this money, one thing I'll tell you guys is start small. Focus on the base hits and adding up the base hits. because what you're doing is you're putting yourself in a position to hit those bigger trades, to hit those home runs just by adding up the base hits. And that's how I grew my accounts, base hits, just adding my wins up over and over and over again and sticking to it. I do the same exact thing every single day, same exact strategy. I don't care if it gets boring. That's like my job. This is my job. I do this strategy every single day. I treat trading as a business, not as gambling. So stick to the process, stay patient, stay focused, and add up the base hits. You can do it too. And look, if you need help taking your trading to the next level, if you need help even starting to trade, you want to become a profitable trader, you see my YouTube videos, you see how I explain things, and you want to take it to the next level, well, this is your chance. You can book a call below, see if you qualify to be mentored by me. Just see, book a call, we're going to interview you, we're going to see if you're a good fit for my program, and if you are, then we can take the next steps from there. So book a call, it's free to book to see if you're the right fit for my mentorship, and if you are, great, and if not, no worries, I have a bunch of other free resources. I hope you guys all book, I hope you guys all like this video and subscribe, comment any questions, I like to respond to them. And this is the start of my YouTube journey. We're going to keep cranking these videos out. Love you guys. Peace. Let's go VWAP, baby.